Hi, it's Neil Dugan here again, and this is day 3 on the 30-day depression challenge. And today, what I want to talk about is some of the experiences that you can have when you're living with depression and anxiety in particular yourself, and more to the point, actually, how your environment actually will be interacting with you. So, since the beginning of the calendar year, I've almost had no clients coming to me who have not had one of the syndromes actually that they're presenting with, so either depression or anxiety, and sometimes mania. So, and numbers of combinations of these things as well. So I'm not saying that every one of them has full-blown psychiatric condition or anything like that, but they're certainly expressing many of the symptoms that would describe the syndrome. And this experience of actually meeting this level of suffering that's actually coming through the door into the clinic is quite extraordinary, and it really led me to actually try and contemplate what it must be like for the people who are living around these people who are suffering in this way. And of course, the absolutely unavoidable situation is that your environment becomes incredibly enmeshed in your experience. And certainly, from a bit more than anecdotal evidence, this is my clinical evidence, clinical experience, is that very often the other people who are actually surrounding you, if you're a sufferer of one of these conditions, will be actually displaying many or all of these types of symptoms as well. So, if you've got somebody, say somebody around you, either your partner or a child or something like this, is suffering from anxiety, for example, and perhaps you are suffering from depression yourself, well, then there'll be this interaction going on, between the anxiety display and, the depression display. So in the anxiety display, the person will be wanting to gain control and sort out what's going wrong with the environment, and certainly be pointing the fingers a lot at the environment. And if you're there receiving this energy coming in from this person who is suffering from anxiety, and you're suffering from depression yourself, well, then you're just going to feel lower and lower and lower. And so this becomes a real descending sort of a spiral. And so the message today really is to begin to actually look at the ways in which the people in your environment may well actually be feeding an energy into you which actually complements and enhances the the particular feelings that you're getting. So whether they be sadness or worry or concern, or any kind of sort of hero type of feelings that you might be having in yourself, the people around you, if they're actually resonating into you and they can actually feel what's going on in you, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're going to be actually displaying symptoms and displaying sort of triggers which will come absolutely perfectly in and connect in with you in your heart. Now, there's an obvious thing that you can do right here and now to help with all of this. And the first thing is to wake up. So, we talk about yesterday and the day before about our poor old rooster. Well, you'll be pleased to know that we're not in the chicken run today, and we're sitting out on the balcony in the warm sunshine in Perth, Australia here. And what we can talk about here is that when you are able to actually wake up and say, you know what, I've seen that before. I've seen this trigger coming in from this other person, and I know that when that trigger comes in, that what will happen is that certain feelings are going to be set off. So I know that there's a pattern around the type of behaviour that's coming from my environment, from perhaps my husband or my wife or my child, and I know the actions that are going to be coming from them, because I can see actually how they're operating. And I'm sure if you're listening to this video that you're one of these people who has a pretty good handle on how all this is actually playing out. So you look at all of this coming in and you say, I see you, I'm not going to react, I'm not going to feed you, I'm not going to feed this trigger. The next thing that you can do is you can actually have a look at the ideas that are being triggered in yourself. So if, in our example that we're talking about here, we're dealing with depression inside ourselves, perhaps the idea is that I'm not worthy. and perhaps your husband or your child is just not providing you with any sort of respect at all because they're angry. So they're dealing with all this anger and that type of stuff, and they're looking to somebody to blame, and here you are feeling like a bit of a sad sack and you're an easy target. So out it comes. Trigger comes in. Trigger comes into the idea, it approaches the idea, I'm not worthy, and next thing you know, the sadness is evolving from it. So the essential tool that we're talking about here today is to begin to catalogue, to begin to describe what all of these triggers are that are coming in, and they're easy to see because somebody else is doing them. So later on in this 30-day challenge we'll start talking about how we trigger ourselves, but for now let's go with something easy and actually look at how people in our environment are actually triggering us. So thanks for watching. Tomorrow we'll be having another dig further and deeper into this whole process around depression, anxiety, and of course that megalomaniac feeling that you might have from time to time as well. So thanks for watching, and I'll look out for the next video tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.